the recording, and we are going to go start the recording in 1, 2, and 3.
You're watching SchreckTeck, where tech is Shrecky. This show is sponsored by Synapse 3DI at www.synapse3di.com and by Relate Corporation at www.relate.com.
Good morning, everyone. This is SchreckTeck. Well, actually, it may be evening where you are, but wherever you are, hope you're having a good day. I'm Rick Zanotti, and next to me, right here, is Gina Schreck.
Right here.
Hey,
right
Gina.
Here. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Gina. Settle down, kids. Okay. So did we all survive, first of all, daylight savings? You know, I don't know why this fall back always throws me off. More than losing an hour.
I agree. Now I feel like I've got an extra hour, and I'm not quite sure what to do with it.
Yeah, it's like at night, I'm tired, but yet you go, well, if I go to bed now, then it throws me off. And yeah, the whole thing. I don't like daylight savings. I wish we would just do away with it.
The whole thing. Just get rid of it all. I agree.
Just get rid of it. But we did
It's only
survive.
there to irritate the sheeple. That's it.
Exactly. You know, I just don't understand that whole thing of, we have an extra hour. I never know where that hour is. I can never find it. But we
Look
did
behind
survive.
you. It's right over your right shoulder. There it is.
That's got to be it. Because, and if you notice, all my clocks right now, you know, this is the time of year, and we do this twice a year, so you'd think by now we'd have an inventory. We have so many clocks in our house that I never really know until daylight savings. And then I have to go around finding, and I kind of collect clocks. I mean, I've got a couple clocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 physical clocks, you know, the analog clocks in my office. Maybe more. And then I've got all the digital ones pretty much update most of them on their own. So that's helpful. But right now they're all slightly off.
Yep.
You know, 5-10 minutes.
Yep. Does anybody really know what time it is, though?
Yeah, time.
Does anybody really care?
Does anybody really know? So, yeah, we did survive daylight savings. And then the big news I even was thinking last night, was there any other news this week in the social media world? No.
No.
I guess not.
No.
I was looking for a cricket noise. I'll find it when it's an inappropriate time to play it. Yeah, there you go. But the big news yesterday, and what was ironic was yesterday morning I met with a client and we were talking about, you know, we know Google Plus is going to be rolling out business pages, and I kept wondering, why is it taking so long? Because in June, when they rolled out regular Google Plus for individuals, companies were jumping on and creating Google Plus profiles with their business, and of course Google right away was saying, this is not, you cannot create a Google Plus account for your business. It has to be a personal account. They were shutting down pages, and even Sesame Street had a Google Plus account that they set up and they got shut down. And Google said, just wait, it'll be worth waiting for. So we kept thinking, why is it taking so long? Here it is November, no business pages. And we just were discussing this yesterday morning, came home, and sure enough, Google Plus rolls out business pages yesterday. Here's what I find interesting. It looks just like the profiles. I mean, I don't know yet. I mean, I'm looking at how you use it, and there are some good features that I can see a business, especially local. I see some really good uses for certain businesses. The question is, are there enough, and we're kind of where we were when Facebook first launched business pages and Twitter first launched. Are there enough people over here yet for us to be concerned about? Should businesses right away create Google profiles? What do you think, Rick? Because you're more technical and you like Google Plus.
I like Google Plus, and in fact, I didn't really know that they had released the business pages until this morning. Well, actually, I knew it last night when I saw your tweet. So I was going, got to get into that. I think it's a good thing. And I think as long as they kept it simple, consistent, and made it like they did the other Google Plus things, it'll be a really good thing. Facebook's business pages are a little kludgy because you're kind of attached to you at the same time. Now, in Google Plus, do you have to have your own personal account? Can you just have a business account?
You can just, you don't necessarily have to create a personal
That's
profile first.
brilliant.
But you know what? But see, that's a misconception that people have about Facebook. They think that if you go to my business page, you can see that I am the admin for that page. You really can't unless I let you know.
Right, you can turn it off.
You can. It can be completely separate. I mean, I'm on a bunch of businesses, their Facebook pages, because we manage them. But nobody knows that I'm associated with those pages.
But I think what happens is, unless you really know Facebook well,
Yeah,
it's
maybe
not
that's it.
quite as obvious in doing all the setup and all the administration as even Google Plus is easier to set up than Facebook.
And that's probably what I noticed right away. I mean, last night I had a Google Plus business page set up, I mean, in minutes. The hardest thing I found was just finding the right pictures that I wanted, because I couldn't get my whole picture, banner, logo thing. So I'm going to have to create a graphic designed for the Google Plus logo.
Now, did you
because
get a
I really
URL
want
right
this to
away?
be-
Without
What's
this,
that?
did you get a URL right away so people
Well,
can
you don't
find
have,
you?
that's the thing that's weird. You don't have these. You don't have a URL. It's all these weird numbers. So they've got to change that, because even this morning I put out, come check out my business profile, and I put the long URL. I think what I did is I put posts at the end of it, but it was wrong. It's the wrong. Google Plus has, I think it's like Google Plus something that has like 769.
Right, the GUI ID number. They call it the GUI ID.
Yeah,
It's how they find it on the web.
And there are other sites you can go to, and you plug that in, and it'll give you a URL that has your name, but it also has their site piece in there. So I don't want that.
So at this point, unlike Facebook, where if you have at least 25 subscribers, you can get a URL.
Right.
Which,
I haven't
by the
seen
way,
it.
I don't have a lousy 25 subscribers. I'm still stuck with no URL. Of course,
What for what page?
for the Relate page.
Okay, everybody listening, make sure we go over like the Relate.
I mean,
Or
if you like all those long numbers, it's fine, but it's like a
Well, it is easy
500
to tell.
character ID, but
I mean, just like this morning, I copied the URL, pasted it into a tweet. It shrinks it. Now,
Right.
it could be that Twitter dropped something in the link shrinking, but it didn't work. So it is good to have a URL. But a couple things that I see that I like, well, there's a couple that are really big. One being just SEO, because not every Facebook post is indexed by Google. But some are, and I'm not sure how they determine that. So obviously Google Plus, if you're posting business information and content, will help your ranking immediately. So just like having a Google Places, which that was my first question. Oh, I've already got a Google profile for my business because I have a Google account for my business where I have, if you type in your business name, you get Google Places, and it has all the info that you've loaded about your business. It's separate. So Google Places is really established for the consumer to find you.
okay.
Google Plus is so that your business can engage with the social consumer. So you have to, now maybe soon they'll merge, you can merge content. But again, it took me a couple minutes to set up the profile for your business. It's really simple. Just if you go to Google Plus today, there'll be a thing saying it's now available for business, create your account. And then when I log in, if you do have a personal and a business, you log in to Google Plus and you'll be put on your personal page, and then there's a little drop down arrow that says you can switch between your profile or your page.
Now,
So
is
you
this
just
considered a
switch.
beta, or is it actually a finished product at this point?
I believe it's I mean, with Google, is anything out of beta?
True.
I mean, it's kind of the first rollout, but supposedly from June 28th when they rolled out Google Plus to today, they were supposed to be working out all of this for rolling out these great business pages. So one thing is your SEO. I really think if you're going to be sharing content, you want to make sure you're also sharing it on Google Plus. But here's another big difference. What I like about this, because you can create groups. See, on Facebook Business, you post stuff, it goes to everybody who's who likes your page. On Google Plus, you can say, I want this post to go to the world, to public. So that's your first option, which a general post, you would want that going to the world. The second choice, I can say, I only want this going to my customers. So maybe, and this is where I think as businesses, we have to get out of our normal social posting routine. And we have to start thinking of, is there some content I want to share or some promotions I want to share with just my customers? You can also choose VIP, and you can put certain people and businesses in your VIP list or circle. And then you can also have a list of employees. So you might have content. Now, this is where I think you'd have to be really careful, because maybe I want to post some content. I want to share some files or share maybe an article would probably be the safe way. I have an article that I want to share with my team of community managers, and I want them to read this because it'll affect how they're posting content. I could say, send this just to my team. But if I'm not careful and I don't choose the right circles, you can see where that could go wrong.
Yep.
But I like that. I like that we can now be a little more specific. You can also post on there saying, hey, to all my customers, I'm in a hangout right now. Come in and let's do a video chat with my customers who might have questions.
So what's your impression overall compared to Facebook?
I really like it. My only concern is, and I had the same concern on Facebook and Twitter. There's not enough people there. So you create things, you're going, is it kind of going out to no one yet?
Well, there's 70 million Google Plus users? I mean, that's quite a few people to start.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are using it, but on the other hand, I don't know how many people really use Facebook. A lot of people have accounts, but how active are they?
Well, okay, here's a great point. On Facebook, we're all slave to this whole edge rank. Your business page content is shared based on what Facebook believes people want to see. So you get ranking, and we've talked about this, but your posts may not be going to everyone. Google Plus, you don't have that algorithm of who's going to see this. If you say I want the public to see this, it goes to everybody.
Well, that's
so
good.
Everyone can find that content. Versus Facebook, it may not be the case. People may not ever see your posts if they have not engaged with you and your content, even though they like your page, or unless they go to your page. But there are a lot of pages that are not their content is not even being viewed because of this edge rank that determines who sees your content.
Well, it's interesting because if you look at it, 5 years ago, MySpace was pretty big. Now it's pretty much who cares. It's only for musicians for the most part, and I guess porn. But beyond that, there's not much going on with MySpace. And look how big it was originally. Facebook, you never know. That could go the same way, too. It all depends on how well Google implements and how quickly people attach to it, because everybody goes to Google for searching. I mean, Microsoft tried with Bing, but they've only slightly done, 5% is Bing, and the rest is still Google.
And I do think that's why we should take Google Plus seriously, is if for nothing else, Google's seeing it.
Right.
It'll help your search. So now we've got to look at that whole double posting. It's not integrated yet into some of the tools like Hootsuite or TweetDeck, or I'm sure it will be. But it's interesting. We're just in this time of, gosh, we keep adding to these social networks. It just becomes overwhelming. And then as a business, I'm already today, I was looking at all of our client lists going, which of these clients do I need to get on Google Plus right away? And which of them can wait? I mean, there's some small clients that we work with. Although, see, the fitness center, we manage a fitness center brand, and I think that might be a good one for Google Plus because of the SEO.
Yep. Now, what's going on with, is Google Buzz is still around, but it seems sort of half dead, but
Google Plus?
No, Google Buzz.
Oh, Google Buzz. Yeah, they shut that down.
Oh, they did shut it down.
They shut down Google Wave.
The Wave, but the Buzz is still there, though I don't know if anybody uses it.
I never use it.
I haven't either. And the Wave I thought was sort of, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, again, good concepts. The Wave concept of being able to see the link discussion, which I think has trickled over into Gmail.
True.
So I think now Gmail, when I go in there, it's definitely threaded conversations. And now they've added that Zobni-like feature on Gmail that I can see the profile pictures. If you upgrade to the new Gmail, that was the other big thing. Google's been busy. Gmail did a whole revamp, and I love that. I love the new features on there, but you've got, when I load my email, there's a little profile picture next to everybody's email.
Right.
Which I like that. I like to be able to see, and it's pulling it.
As long as they have pictures. I know a lot of the people that I send mails to, they don't have their pictures up there. So you see this little silhouette thing.
Yeah, some. I've noticed with this new Gmail, it's pulling it from different. I'm seeing some LinkedIn pictures. I'm seeing some profile pictures, and I'm seeing some Google profile pictures and some Facebook. So I think depending on who you're connected with and what social circles, you'll see different profile pictures. But
Okay.
I like that feature. Let's see. Questions in the chat room or comments. Let's see. Okay. The more dense your social graph, the greater your outcomes to satisfy a collaborative need. I'm probably jumping in. A lot of chat going on. It is interesting. Facebook, I don't know who just said that. Found Relate on. Oh, they're liking your page, so you've got more fans on Relate.
Thank you. That's appreciated.
Let's see. The network you choose, Facebook or Google Plus. The success depends on who you are connected to, which is true. And as a business, you have to look at always, where are my customers? Where are my potential customers? What type of content do they want?
And by the way, you are now bigger on the screen. What happened is I forgot to.
Do I need
We
to
were
move
talking
back?
so much, I forgot to full screen the Skype session on you. And it just
Darn.
dawned on me. I go, why am I seeing your background? How did you get that on? Oh gosh.
And Larry, that's a great point. An active network is better than a large network. And sometimes we get these giant numbers, but we don't get people. Now, I do like that on Facebook. It tells you on your business page, you have this number of people that like your page, and then it'll say, here's how many are really talking about your page. And that's the number we pay attention to. In our company, we're always looking at, okay, this Facebook page that we manage, it's like 10% of the population of that page is talking about it. That's a low number. So we really work to, what do we have to do to get that engagement number higher, so that because otherwise, why are you talking? So I think that is a really good point. Although the numbers come into play, the more people you have, the greater chance you have of getting that engagement. So,
But I have to tell you, if you look at us right now, there's Gina, and here am I, and you look at her picture on her Facebook, and you look at mine, who are you going to go to?
oh, please.
It's true. It's true. It's true. That's part of it. It's a
It's all
popularity
about the
contest.
content. It's all now.
That's a lie. It's nothing. It has nothing to do with content.
Yes, it
It's all looks.
Yes, it does. I think it's all about the cow mug. Yeah, you gotta admit, this is a great cow mug, and it's giant. Cowbell. Yeah. So I think it'll be a good move. I think it's going to take time, just like Twitter. I mean, look back at what was it, 2007, when everybody was talking about Twitter.
Well, Twitter took off, about 3 years ago, really?
It took a while to get momentum.
2009, maybe 2008.
But don't you remember, it was all techies at first.
No, all I remember in the beginning was all young kids saying, "I just had lunch." Oh, that's nice. I'm going
That
to
was me,
dinner.
Rick.
That's
That wasn't-
nice.
That wasn't young kids. That was me.
It was pretty bad in the beginning. I just kind of looked at it and walked away. And then I actually got really into it from RJ Hackes, who is one of the product evangelists at Adobe. And I was watching him, and he was saying, no, you got to get in. It's great. It's fun. It's cool. And I started following him and eventually got really into it. It was fun. And I've met a lot of people through it, you included.
See, it all goes back to, if you connect with smart people on Twitter, it's this really cool network tool and a social sharing tool. And, next week we'll talk about that. But that you learn so much when you're connected to smart people.
Though that does bring up an existential question. Are they really there, or is it somebody else acting like them?
Is it somebody, a bot, that's really posting for them?
You never know. Half the books that are written by people are not written by those people. Ghostwriters.
That's true.
You never know. Actually, there's a lot of ghost tweeters. Half the politicians, half the business people don't really tweet. They just have
ghost tweeters for
other places, right?
7 accounts.
So, and you have permission to do a certain thing, but
Right.
you rarely. I don't know how often you really talk to the real person. In other words,
I am a real person.
no, not you. I'm talking about like some of the politicians and
know.
stuff, and who claim to be
Yeah.
out. I don't think so. Or the.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I do think that is those are hard ones to manage. We have a couple authors that we manage their social platform for, and it's really hard. What we've done is we send them, Kristen on our team, who manages several of those types of accounts. She just sends them messages, emails every day. She listens to the news and reads blogs, and then she sends them, what are your thoughts on this? And sends them a link. And they have to read it, and then they respond, and she'll then distribute that content. But her job is sourcing and going through content that they can then put voice to. So it's awkward. It's easier for a business to have multiple people managing their social platform. And I think Google Plus, again, is another one that we're going to have to look at in our businesses and say, how does this tool fit into my world? Now, what I liked about it, I could be on Google Plus and I could post some content and I could say, you know what, this would be great for everyone. And then I could, while I'm right there, ping my team and say, hey, join me on a Hangout video chat so we can talk about something real quick. And everybody can just be right there. And then you close that and you post something that goes out just to your clients. I like that ability to kind of do things. And I've done a couple of the Hangouts now, and the video quality is great. And I think it's a great tool for businesses to kind of create this, hey, we're here to chat if you have any questions for us.
Yep. Now, how many of you people in the chat room are planning on creating a Google business page? Raise your hands.
Yeah.
Raise your hands a little higher. We can't quite see you.
Raise your hand. Yeah. Would you be creating within the next, I don't know, few weeks, a Google profile for your business?
And I, for one, am raising my hand. We will.
You will. Yeah,
will.
Your business makes sense to be on there.
I guess. I mean, we did it on Facebook. I haven't really seen much difference in doing that. But then again, I guess we're not actively pushing the page either.
Right. So far, nobody. Terrence says no rush, but he will in time.
Okay.
Jeff says no. Levy says no, not in business. Larry says there are people who are on Facebook only to connect with their past school friends. True.
True.
And that could be what we see is Facebook. We kind of use.
Actually, that's an interesting point, Larry.
Yeah.
How much do you think Facebook has affected Classmates.com?
I think it's huge. I talked to a guy who runs reunions.com.
Okay.
And we talked about that. I said, I don't even feel the need to go to a reunion. I feel like we've caught up already. If you do go to a reunion, is it just a fun event like prom?
Right.
You know.
Well, see, in my high school, I think everybody's in jail, so I don't think it makes any difference.
Please. We just had our 30th high school reunion, and sadly, I went to school in Hawaii where there was such a high military population that people moved. It was very transient.
Right. That's right.
So they held the reunion in Vegas.
Now, were you military?
My dad was military.
Your dad was military. Okay.
Yeah. I probably should have been military school, but no, my dad was. And it was sad because it was only like 8 people or something. I didn't go. But there were only about 8 people that showed up. So I look at that and go, you're right. Now we have reunions every day on Facebook.
Yeah.
Look at that. That could be that's the slogan right there. Facebook, where you have a reunion every day. Yeah. Anybody else creating a Facebook account? Never used Classmates, but every one of my 60 students are on Facebook. See, that's a really good point. Today's seniors.
So you could you actually create a group on Facebook for your class?
Sure.
That would be interesting.
What I've seen is classes create pages that people can share pictures.
That's interesting. I haven't seen that yet. I've got to look around to see if anybody's done it from my high school or other ones I know.
Yeah. There's the one for our high school reunion. It was a Facebook page, and they did a big range. It was like if you graduated from 1978 to 83 or something, just to get the numbers there.
Yep.
And they wanted people to share pictures.
Not realizing that in those days nobody ever mixed with other classes.
But that's true, and that is interesting. You look at
now everybody's mixing in. You've got seniors mixing in with 8th graders or 7th graders. It's really weird.
Not until you're old does it.
Of course, when my daughter was growing up, we had a couple of seniors who were trying to go after her, and I said, you know what? She's young. I'll kill you. So.
I know, isn't that weird? I mean,
yes. I was very surreptitiously going behind the scenes and telling some of these boys, you do that, you're dead.
Yeah. Let's go downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Google Plus, it is interesting, Terrence. That's a good point. He's wondering, is Google Plus seems like it's being used by a little bit older generation. I definitely
what does Terrence mean by that?
Well, look, we did start the show talking about your physical
That's
ailments.
right. Yeah, hi.
Welcome to the Google Plus Hour.
That's right. Plus, like in plus sizes, plus age.
Geritol Plus. See, that's what the G stands for.
That's right. Geriatric plus.
Geriatric Plus. I think that is an interesting. I think it's I don't want to say it's a more intellectual crowd than Facebook. I think
I don't think so.
I think Facebook has become a very comfortable place to be friends with people. Maybe too comfortable for people. They share too much. But Google Plus, as soon as you go over there, you feel like, okay, this is all business. Yeah. You don't see people's vacation pictures. You don't see people. I mean, there's no features on there, poke someone or send mafia wars, which is a good question. Social gaming is so big. Will Google Plus have to add some social games in?
Or maybe Google Plus will be the one for productive people.
Well, maybe that's it.
Who don't spend all their time doing social gaming.
You know, I can't believe I did not wear my... I'm trying to turn the little light on here. My Google pen.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I'll have to wear that today in honor of Google Plus. But yeah, you know, I just think we're at another new tool that we have to explore. How do we use this in our business? And I think it'll be really interesting. I like the SEO factor. I like the fact that you can put people in circles, because business pages on Facebook, you cannot differentiate. You can't say send this content to just these people. Your personal page you can, but on a business page, everything goes to everyone. So this is a good thing to be able to segment.
So this is something to really keep an eye on and see how it goes. Let's give it a month. Maybe we should come back in about a month and revisit it, see if it's really taken off. And I'm curious to see how your clients do with it and where you go with them.
Yeah. Well, see, and I immediately see an application for my business is looking at it and exploring it to, find customers that we manage now it's even more important. You've got all these different platforms. You have to determine where to spend your time and where our customers need to be. But I like the fact that it's automatically helping your search rank. Did you know that Google does not index all the tweets anymore? See, I just learned that.
Well, it's just probably good because that was kind of an overwhelming amount of semi-useless data. Mm-hmm.
Right. And it used to be that if you posted a post on Twitter, every tweet was a fully indexed web page.
Right, right. I think what they finally figured out is that takes up an awful lot of computer hardware. A lot. And so as a result, they decided, you know what, it's just not worth it. Or when they were looking at the fetch results to see how many people actually went to looking for those tweets, they probably found it wasn't that many.
That's right. And if you wanted to search for tweets, you go to Twitter and you do a search there.
Right. Right. Now I have a quick question for you. If you get direct messages, how do you find old direct messages, or do they just go away at one point?
You mean like if you scroll all the way down?
Yeah, and you're done. You've only got maybe 300, 400. How do you find the old ones? I know they're kept.
Well, it's interesting because Twitter does only keep a certain number of your tweets. Like if you try to go back to your first tweet and you have over 2,000 tweets, it's too late.
Oh, so it is gone. Okay.
There's a cap of what they'll. Now you can probably go to the Library of Congress and look in their archives there.
Really?
All tweets are they're all kept in the Library of Congress.
Oh, really? Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. That's a true statement.
Wow.
Is that weird? The Twitter, if you go to twitter.com, there is a link you can click on to say, show me all tweets happening right now around the world.
Wow.
And that feed is kept. They started archiving the Twitter stream in the Library of Congress. I think that was last year.
Oh, that's a CIA initiative. Right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I don't know, but once again.
It's all done in code. Yes.
Once again, kids, remember, everything you put on the internet can and will be found.
And will be used against you in a court of law.
It can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, it is time to move on to our... Apps.
Apps. I have to tell you about one that I found this week, and I think we'll talk more about it later when we talk about social check-ins and reviewing sites. But there's a new site called Oink. It's an app called Oink, and it's, I know, we need a little pig noise. I almost said nose. Pig noises.
Well, we're doing oink. A boink.
Oink.
Here's a boink.
A boink for the oink. Yeah, so Oink, if you use social review sites like Yelp or TripAdvisor, where else do we post reviews? Gosh, everywhere. I mean, today, and that's a topic for our blog I'm working on, is we are a consumer, a social consumer is now one that writes a review for everything everywhere. And it's interesting because Oink came out and it's brand new. It's been but Kevin Rose, who started Milk, if you're familiar with that, and started Dig way back when, he started Oink, so I think it's got some good momentum behind it. So I think it'll be around. But it is a review site for anything. You can review an object. You can say, I'm going to write a review. So in one way, it reminds me of Pinterest. If you're not on Pinterest, Pinterest is a fascinating site to me. And I see applications for some of my retail clients putting their items on Pinterest because then it's virally shared. The link to your website and how to order it is there. So it's a really cool way to socially share everything. But Oink is now going to let you review anything. So you can review a restaurant. You can review a specific type of macaroni and cheese that you just bought at the store. You can review anything and everything. Now, I'm not sure, because I haven't posted enough reviews to see how will it sort that. Like, how do you start making sense of it? But on Pinterest, it works because you can say, show me all technology-related items. Show me things for your home. Show me food items. Show me beautiful pictures or places I want to go visit. So there are categories like Stumble Upon. Are you a big Stumbled Upon user?
Me? No.
No.
I've actually never been there.
What do you use, Rick, on the internet?
Not much.
I'm curious.
Not much. Yeah, not much, I guess. Yeah.
I guess I use so many that I just assume everybody does.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Google+. I'm on Facebook. I go to a million different sites for business, but I don't really use a lot of the social media type, or at least the look for things, because I usually know where to find things.
I know.
I'm on Amazon a lot. Amazon's
you're
my
on
biggie.
what?
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon.
Amazon's the biggie.
But what do you do on Amazon besides shop?
I buy things.
I was going to say, wouldn't you just go there to buy stuff?
There's a reason I have 15 mics.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes. Well, I don't have a bunch of apps. All the apps that I kind of look at, I feel like maybe I've become a content hoarder. I just consume all this content, and
that could be a good new show, Content Hoarder.
Content hoarder.
And they come in and wipe out your hard drive. Hey.
The moment I got Instapaper and Read Later, I have those apps on my thing. So if I see content, I go, oh, I want to read this later. I save it. Then I realize I'm just a content hoarder. I'm saving all this content. When will I ever have time?
I think I have 1 million items in my favorites in Twitter, and I don't think I've ever gotten to half of them.
It is weird. There's a lot. Here's a question for you. Larry said, a question for Rick. If an employer goes to Facebook, there's a larger chance I'll see those late night weekend photos that maybe should not be taken.
Interesting.
Do you think that people on Google Plus are not posting that kind of material? Oh no, I've seen inappropriate posts already.
I think it's a combination of everything. It hasn't been as spread as Facebook, but give it time. Give it time.
Rick is nervous now. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that the goofballs will come to all these sites and post stuff that's just, and there's some big name social media people that I'm just shocked because they're vulgar and they post stuff that I'm going, how? I don't know. How do they
Well, I don't like the trend, and this is, I think, kind of a classless trend of people either tweeting or putting out a lot of Facebook notifications or Google Plus with expletives everywhere. I find it just classless.
Just weird.
It's weird, it's classless, and it's kind of gross. What does it prove? That you know how to use bad words? Great. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those classless things.
true. So my app that I liked this week was Oink because of the trend I see. The social consumer, which I think will affect all of our businesses. We have to start looking at this. The social consumer posts reviews, which reviews are kind of like advertisement. We will go to a restaurant if we read great reviews on it, if we've never been there, and we will stay away from ones that have bad reviews.
Sure.
And yes, there are some that are tainted by the competition and stuff, but I do think these social review sites are really becoming more popular because of people's love for sharing everything. We just want to share every experience we have. So Oink is a fun app to check out. Again, you can post reviews of everything on there. Larry says he loves Flipbook. And Larry, I'm glad because that is one of my first, I think it was one of the first apps I loaded on my iPad. I love Flipbook and Zeit. How about let's see. Oh, yeah, you didn't get to see all his mics. Yeah, everybody's talking about your mic collection. Do you have a mic museum?
No, not really. I should probably get a place to put them all. They're actually half are at the office, half are at home, but I think we have more at the office.
Jeff said Gina gets apps and Rick gets mics. See, I definitely am winning on that one.
Well, I have a lot of apps too. It's just that I don't talk about them.
Oh, what kind of apps are you downloading?
I don't know. I download so many, half the time I don't remember what they are. So
yeah, that's.
I think I'm an app hoarder too.
Yeah, app hoarder. See, we've
hoarder.
got tech. Maybe that's the show. Is
Though I did clean off my iPad the other day, and I got 12 gigabytes back, so that tells you how much junk I have on it.
Yeah.
Where does all this come from?
I do go through my apps and I delete apps off that really have not been used.
Though I tell you, now that I've had an iPhone for almost 4 years since the beginning, and now I'm on Android. I got the Bionic, and I tell you, I don't miss the iPhone at all.
At all.
I was surprised.
So you're loving it still.
Yeah, and I'm waiting one day for a good Android tablet to come out. I still haven't seen one that I really like. Eventually there'll be one.
I don't know.
Not there yet.
And the
apps, in fact, it's interesting. If you're looking for media apps or any kind of really sophisticated apps, they are not on Android. If you're looking for good like music apps, and I'm talking music instrument kind of apps, or if you're looking for recording apps, so you could do a show, for example, you can't do that on Android well. The app quality is nowhere near as good as what's on iPad or even iPhone.
Yeah.
It's just something to think about.
So did you upgrade to iOS 5?
Well, you have to. Well, sort of. You don't have to, but I did. I did.
Did.
I haven't really noticed a huge difference.
I know a bunch of people who still have not, and I keep saying, gosh, there's so many great features on iOS 5.
Yeah. There's stuff I haven't really noticed an enormous difference on the iPad.
Okay, here's one of the best features I discovered by accident. And this is an iOS feature. So when you're at your home screen on your iPad, if you run your one finger straight down.
Right.
See how that works? Hold on. Okay, seriously?
That's the feature that they stole from Android.
Yeah, it is. It shows all your notifications.
It's your notifications. Yeah, that was a great copy.
What? Oh, okay, now I see what I did wrong. So you have to touch the black bar at the top. You touch that black bar at the top, slide your finger down, and it has my calendar notifications, Facebook notifications, Foursquare, Instagram, all the things that I usually get little notifications on are all in one.
Which I thought was hilarious when I saw that because it's right out of Android.
It is.
Which means Android is keeping them on their toes and it's influencing them.
Yeah. So I thought that I didn't know that it had that. But the iCloud is definitely...
The iCloud is interesting, but the 4S that came out has been destroying battery life. They claim they're going to fix it in a couple of weeks. It's a software problem.
Right. But the whole iCloud thing, the thing that to me is, for anyone who's ever had an iPod, and you're frustrated when you plug it in one device, and if you've ever had the thing where it wiped out all your music because you hit sync instead of...
I haven't had that problem with the cloud.
Oh, no. Before the cloud...
Oh, that's right. If you do sync, and at that point, if you forget to do a playlist...
Like if I bought music from my iPad...
That's right.
If I went to the iTunes or bought it here, and then I plugged it in and hit sync, it does give you a warning message. You have purchased items on your iPad.
That's right.
And it was just confusing. It was like, why can't
you better back it up, otherwise you're dead. You've lost it.
Right. You have to back it up first and then sync it.
Yep.
Well, now I bought a song on here. Instantly, it's also on my
on the cloud.
laptop.
Which, by
And
the way,
it's-
they did iCloud after Google did their cloud thing with Google Music or whatever they
Right.
call it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
interesting.
it's great. To me, that feature, if you have an iPhone,
That's worth it.
iPad, iTouch,
Yep, definitely
whatever.
worth it.
That's great. That was a great upgrade.
Yep.
Just peace of mind. It syncs all your books, your photos, your music, so you don't have to worry
Yep.
about transferring stuff. So that was a great
Yep, that's true.
feature.
Well, anyway, Gina, we are at the end of the show today.
Yes, we are.
43 minutes.
Oh, we're getting it there.
We're getting,
there.
we're almost, we've actually gotten
Signals.
down, I think, half hour once.
Yeah. I think that was that when I was by myself. I
No.
just talked to myself.
No. Are you kidding? That would have been an hour show. Come on.
I was gonna say, or was that the week that I was gone? No, because then the show would have been 10 minutes.
Now, if I did the show by myself, it'd be, hello, well, see you guys later.
Yeah, okay, that's wrapping it up. Well, again, everybody look for Google Plus.
Google
Get your
Plus.
business accounts. It doesn't hurt to at least get your business on the map.
That's right.
Create your account. You can figure out what to do with it later.
Yep.
But get your account built. That's my advice.
Sounds good. Well, everybody, you guys have a great week wherever you are, and enjoy the fall weather or spring weather if you're on the southern hemispheres.
Exactly.
So
Definitely
wherever you
have
are,
to-
just have a good one.
Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Take
Make
care,
sure
everyone.
to SchreckTeck was on a Facebook page. Great. Now we have more work.
Thanks, Gina. Bye-bye.
Bye.